Hi there, folks. Charlie Gipple, the owner of CG Financial Group, your independent marketing organization for annuities, life, and long-term care. Thank you for the business. We're having yet another great year, another year to where we doubled the production from last year, basically, at least from an annuity standpoint. So I appreciate everything that you all have done. Let's talk about limited distribution. If you want to turn me off as a recruiter, as an agent recruiter, just call me up and say this. And by the way, I do get recruiting calls a lot because I show up on lists that I'm an advisor. A lot of times the other IMOs don't realize that I as well am an IMO. So they'll call me up and they'll say this, and this will turn me off immediately. Hey, Charlie, we have this great limited distribution opportunity for you, this great limited distribution product for you. Immediately, I'm blocking that person out. Not because I believe that the product is crap. It may be a decent product, but because I kind of don't trust the person because they're using that sizzle, not steak, but just sizzle of this limited distribution thing to try to bring me aboard. Why do I say that that's more sizzle than steak? Because I spent 2 decades with the carriers, right? To where these carriers would have IMOs coming to them or product development committees or product development companies coming to them and offering these products. And I'll tell you how those conversations go. But first, let's step back for a second. So this is generally how annuities are made and distributed in the United States. Generally, at least indexed annuities, right? Variable annuities, you have broker dealers involved and all that other stuff. But indexed annuities, you have a carrier. The carrier manufactures those products. It is on carrier paper, meaning that it is the carrier that is licensed with all the different states and all that stuff. It is XYZ carrier that is on the paper when they manufacture that product. I don't want to go down that road a whole lot. But anyway, then that carrier has a lot of different IMOs, independent marketing organizations, say 100 across the country, let's say. And these IMOs have tens of thousands of agents. So that is how the distribution of these products work. Well, occasionally you'll have this IMO that has maybe a few actuaries on staff, or heck, maybe a full-blown product development company that IMO owns. And that IMO says, you know what, we have a great idea. We have a great idea for this product, but yet we're not an insurance carrier. We're not licensed as an insurance carrier. We can't raise the capital like insurance carriers can. What if we go to an insurance carrier and pitch this idea of them creating a product based off of our idea? Of course, non-disclosure is assigned and all that. So this IMO, who also has a great product idea, 11% penalty-free withdrawals instead of 10%. Hugely innovative. I'm being facetious, of course. And by the way, there are some great limited distribution products out there, so I'm not suggesting that. But sometimes they're not real innovative. So they go to this carrier, and the carrier will say, okay, so yeah, we like it. We'll manufacture it. And there are a couple of different arrangements. Maybe the carrier offers it to the entire country, in which that IMO gets a national override off the top of every penny that's written. Or maybe that IMO says, you manufacture this for us, the IMO, for only me, not your other 99 IMOs, for only me, and we'll commit to doing $5 billion over the next year in that product. You know, so me, I was at the carrier for 2 decades, right? And I was a part of a lot of these conversations, leadership when it comes to distribution. And a lot of times it'd be like, but not to call your baby ugly, but your product idea is not that, it's not that innovative. So what is the value proposition? Here is the response almost every time. Well, the value proposition is this, is that it's limited, that it's like a country club type thing, that they can't get it anywhere else other than us. And there's a special type of aura to that limited distribution thing. But carrier, why does it matter to you if us, the IMO, are committing to $5 billion over the next year, which is maybe 5-fold what we did previously? Carrier looks in and says, wow, you're right. So then that IMO goes and then blasts the entire country, right? And says, limited distribution opportunity. Let me ask you, is that more sizzle or is it more steak? Now, again, I'm not saying that limited distribution products are bad, but as a whole, our limited distribution products, in my experience, and I look at all these products every single day, in my experience as a whole, are they better, quote unquote, than what you could otherwise get in the mainstream distribution? No. I have not found a tendency for limited distribution products to be, quote unquote, better. then why is it that limited distribution products take up so much of the distribution nowadays versus, say, a decade ago? Because people fall for the limited distribution type, country club type thing. And I would argue it's more sizzle than it is steak, more times than not. Doesn't mean you don't listen to limited distribution product pitches, because again, they can be just as good as the others. It just means don't fall for it purely because it's limited distribution.